Hello, my beautiful friend, and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'm super excited to share with you 5 important things that will help you navigate the energies of this Taurus full moon lunar eclipse happening November 19th, 12:57 a.m. Pacific time, 3:57 a.m. Eastern time. And for my international friends, adjust the time for wherever you are on the planet. I'd love to hear a comment from you below on where you're tuning in from. That'd be so much fun. So this eclipse, 2 words: up-leveling deliciousness. Up-leveling deliciousness, wherever you have 27 degrees of Taurus in your natal astrology chart, is where you will be feeling this eclipse. And if you have planets or points between 22 and 27 degrees of Taurus, or 27 to 29, and then the first few degrees of Gemini, you may feel this eclipse more than others. I'm going to pull a card at the end of this video for this eclipse, and I have a gift for you, so stay tuned for that. I'm Betsy Gutting. For those of you who are new to me, I'm a soul guide, an intuitive life coach, and a psychic astrologer. I'm the author of the book, The Magic of Saying Yes, Answering Your Heart's True Calling. I'll leave it linked to that book as well if you want to check it out. So let's get into this eclipse. It's conjunct, number 1 point, it's conjunct the North Node. While eclipses are always about new beginnings and endings, and full moon eclipses, as this one is, about clearing out a cycle, closing out a cycle, releasing, mostly ending something. This, being conjunct the North Node, which is our destiny, is future forward looking. So you may very well have something new come into your life, or a new insight that says, this is what I want, this is what matters to me, this is what I'm going for. Taurus energy is unstoppable. Taurus is a fixed earth sign. It's all about creating in our earthly reality. It's the physical body, it's the 5 senses, it's our sensuality, it's our pleasure, our comforts, it's good food and drink. Taurus is about our values and about self-love and self-worth. So there's also an aspect to this eclipse about up-leveling our self-worth, releasing old limiting stories and beliefs about ourselves, and really taking the reins of our life. So destiny forward moving, point number 1. Point number 2, this is about making room for what matters most to you. This eclipse is trined by Pluto. Pluto is a power player. Pluto brings up what's been underneath the surface of our conscious minds and shows us what needs to be cleared out and, washed away. And I have a quick story for you about this, about making room for what matters most to you. So when I had just left my career as a lawyer, or was hoping to leave it, hoping not to practice law anymore because it stifled my creative spirit, I was doing a lot of soul searching. And I had 2 young daughters at the time. And after school, I would take care of my niece, their cousin. And I was doing so many things for other people, taking care of my niece and volunteering in the classroom and, all the other things about life that we do, cooking and chores and all of that. I was trying to find my passion. I was trying to find time to meditate and journal and do all the things that we do. I was praying. I was asking for signs. I was saying, please, God, just tell me, what is my purpose? What is my passion? I will do it if you tell me. And what I realized was I didn't have the space to go do that next thing, whatever it was, because I was so busy giving my time away to others and my energy. And so one day I wrote a letter to my sister and I said, I realize I've been feeling resentful and I've been feeling frustrated and angry that I'm giving you so much time so you can do your work, but I'm not receiving it back. And I said, I'm letting go of my obligation to feel I must take care of your daughter, who I love so much, by the way. I'm releasing this obligation. And most important, I'm letting go of my anger. I'm letting go of my resentment. I'm clearing it all out. There are no longer any expectations that I have toward you. Game changer, life changer. Within days of writing that letter to her, first of all, I felt a huge weight lift off my shoulders. And second of all, I had a dream. I got the sign that I'd been asking for because I finally made space. And in my dream, I received what Julia Cameron in The Artist's Way calls marching orders. I got my marching orders. And that's a whole other story that I'm not going to get into in depth, but I will say that what I was told to do in that dream, that was like a lucid dream, so powerful, woke me up out of my sleep. I was told, you are now going to go do stand-up comedy. Believe me, I was a shy kid. I'm still pretty introverted, believe it or not. Never would I have thought of that. But for 2 years, I did stand-up comedy. I got paid to do it. I emceed shows. I received all kinds of material for my act through downloads. Point being that once I wrote that letter, once I released my resentment, I made space. I made room for what was to be my next thing, which turned out to be a stepping stone to what I'm doing now. Point number 3, commitment. Commit to your heart's desire. So often we think we're committed, but we have one foot in and one foot out. I raised my hand to that. It's like, universe, show me that this is going to be successful before I really put my time and work and energy into it, right? This eclipse is really helping us to solidify that commitment within. How is this? Uranus, the planet of awakening, of new inspiration and insight, and basically the higher octave of Mercury, where we get higher intelligence beaming down through our crown into our awareness. Uranus is trining Venus. And remember, this eclipse is ruled by Venus. Venus is in Capricorn. All of this is to say that Venus in Capricorn, she's serious. She wants structure. She wants to know that she can rely on the people she's sharing energy with. She takes her heart's desires seriously. So we are really being infused with this energy of receive the download, receive your higher guidance, and take what is pinging in you, what's the sparks that are flying in your heart. Take it seriously. Commit to it. Commit to you. Commit to your values, what matters most to you, and you will see fruition come from it. Uranus is also opposing Mars. This is a less gentle aspect, but it's about where we need to wake up, we will be woken up. Let's say that. It's about, Mars is the planet of action. It's our drive. It's our mojo. So where we need a little bit of fire lit underneath us to go and take action and follow through on what we want and what the inspiration and the guidance that we're being given, we will have that. One little caveat: if you find yourself in a situation that's very uncomfortable with another person, step back, breathe, think about what you want to say, how you want to handle it. In some situations, you may have to act quickly, but Mars can be our fighting energy. And sometimes we need to, defend ourselves and take care of ourselves. But take a breath, remember to breathe, remember to step back if you can, unless of course it's an emergency situation. With Uranus-Mars opposition, we can get a jolt. I'm sorry to say this could happen, but if it does, after you've dealt with the situation, you'll have a chance to reflect and say, what is this trying to show me? And it will be a positive life changer for you once you receive the message of what it's trying to show you. For a lot of us, I think it's just going to be, to me, it's more incentive to stop procrastinating and do the things that we really want to do. Take one small step on what really matters to you so that we don't have to have the universe jolt us into action, right? And point number 5, Jupiter is in the mix here. Jupiter is playing. So we have a T-square to this eclipse, the sun and the moon, from Jupiter. It's saying believe in yourself. I know that for me, it's often a challenge, honestly, to believe in myself, to believe in what I want to create that feels big and challenging. And you may have tried something before and it hasn't worked out. You may have all kinds of voices in your head, the inner critic saying, I'm too old, it's too late, I don't have the resources, I don't have the money, I don't have the childcare, I don't have the support, I'm just going to stay in my comfort zone. Everything else feels too difficult right now. That could be happening for you. But with Jupiter, there's a ray of hope. There's a glimpse, as I said earlier, of our destiny, of our future. Jupiter is infusing us, even though it's a square, which can bring tension. There could be two opposing parts of you. One part of you that's saying, let's do this, let's try it, let's take a risk. And the other part going, no, it's just going to turn out like those other things turned out that were not successful. No, I'm not. So you could feel that inner conflict with a Jupiter square. Tune into your higher guidance. Tune into, I love to write to spirit. And in my book, I talk about this technique of writing to spirit and receiving answers from your higher guidance, rather than listening to that ego that's like a barking dog and it never stops, right? And it's limiting. So this eclipse is really helping us to see where we have been limiting ourselves, to hear those voices of criticism and judgment that, aren't serving us anymore, and to make the voice of, I do believe in myself, louder, bringing that hope of Jupiter into your heart. Let's pull a card. Let's see what the cards have to say about this Taurus lunar eclipse. And I'm using my Motherpeace deck. It's by Vicki. I love these cards. I'm just going to shuffle here for a moment. And let's see. What do the cards have to tell us? What do you have to tell us about the Taurus full moon lunar eclipse? Okay. Ooh, I love it. Major Arcana, the Emperor. And as you can see, this emperor is on his throne, or her throne, arms crossed, looking the other way. So let's talk about the energy of the emperor. First of all, the emperor takes charge. The emperor knows what he or she wants and is not afraid to go after it. There are all kinds of, there's like a banquet behind this emperor. That is so perfect for the Taurus energy. There's a banquet of food and drink and looks like some champagne and celebrational stuff. And this banquet is here, and yet the emperor isn't looking at the banquet. So one thing that I feel like this card is saying is you have so many more resources than you may realize that are behind you, propping you up, there for you, supporting you. Maybe doing a little journaling about what are my true resources and the gifts within you, your talents, your spark, your soul essence. That is your wealth. That is your wealth, is everything that you can't even see. Plus, there's more. There is more for you, especially when you commit to what you want. Now, the lower octave darkness, so to speak, of the emperor is, it's my way or the highway. I'm not listening to anyone else. I'm doing it my way. I'm ruling this roost. And I think the message of this card is ask for help. Be willing to, say yes to what you want, but then get help from others. Don't feel like you need to do this all alone. And maybe there's another way to go about it. Uranus is heavily aspecting this eclipse. So it wants us to innovate. It wants us to think outside the box and do things differently than we have before. And when you do things differently, then maybe something that didn't work out before will have a whole different trajectory of success because you are approaching it differently and you are different than you were before. I think that's really important for all of us to remember is we have done so much inner work. We have been through a cataclysmic shift on this planet in the last couple of years. We're not the same people as we were before. We have been renewed. We have been rebirthed. And if you're not yet in that place of renewal, if you're feeling hunkered down and exhausted and, the Scorpio new moon we had before this eclipse, that was a doozy of a new moon. A lot of people felt such intensity and had so many awakenings about their relationships or situations that were very disheartening and may have caused you a lot of tears or frustration or sadness. So I want you to know, let that energy move through you. Let yourself have a good cry. Dance. I love to dance out my emotions, sweat my prayers, whatever it is for you that helps you to release that energy. Give yourself the gift of that. And speaking of gifts, I have a gift for you, which is a guided meditation that's free. You can go to my website, instant download when you subscribe, guided meditation, returning home to yourself. So that is a beautiful support for you as well. I'm so grateful for your time and your energy and your presence. So much gratitude to you for being here in my YouTube community. It's my intention that we have a safe, sacred space for like-minded souls like you. So welcome to my YouTube community. So hit the subscribe button, turn on the bell notifications so you will know when I upload my next video. And I'm sending you so much love on this Taurus eclipse, full moon lunar eclipse. May it be beautiful for you. May you tune into your heart's desire and feel that inner commitment to yourself, to your soul. And I'm sending you all my love. Have a beautiful lunar eclipse in Taurus. Until next time.